Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, and today we're talking about synchronicities. Now, for all of you looking for intel, you're just going to want to sit around because this is cool. All right. Now, I'm a spiritual gal, and I learn things along the way. And when I learn things along the way, I share them with you. Big sharer. If we go to lunch together and I have an awesome sandwich, I will make you try it. I will make you have some. When I was a kid, when my mom would get me new awesome clothing and my friends would come over and I'm so happy about it, they will be wearing the clothing. And I did get in trouble, yes. But it doesn't make me happy when I'm happy or when I learn something good or I come across something good to share it with you. And I cannot help myself. And this little story I'm going to tell today is when you're talking about your soul path, you're talking about the story that you've written for yourself along the way. It's really cool. Okay. Might seem random and might seem like I put things together just for my own purposes, but with me, it never works out that way. It usually takes me a little while to get it. Um, but the way that it lines up most of the time, really can't question it. So I'm gonna try to see if I can lay this out for you guys. Foreshadowing. Yesterday in the Gentel, we got information. Everybody's looking for a rate to go on the Forex for this RV. That means revaluation of foreign currencies and all that. Redemption of bonds. Change of the financial system. We were told when I asked, where are we now for the RV? Is there or will there be a rate for Iraq on the Forex? We were told that is not the screen they look at. Okay. So, talking about different screens, let's call it screens, that are watched for financial change. Hold that in the back of your mind. Yes, I'm in a sweatshirt today. It's cold and rainy, and I started readings early, and then I got all into this, not knowing, I didn't even know I was going to do a show today. I was like, I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything new. I don't know what to talk about. Now I do. All right, story time. So I'm going to line this up. I didn't write it all out in a script because I don't do well with scripts. I write the script just like the grocery list, and then I leave it over there and do my own thing. All right. How am I going to line this up? Let's take a look at what I texted myself. Okay. All right. So for the first time in a long time, well, not this part of it, not stressed about money, not like, hey, what do I got to do something, things are slow, I got to work Saturday. So I put up a sale for people to get 15-minute readings with me on Saturday. So I filled up half the day. And when you're scheduling 15 minutes, it's a lot of scheduling, it's a lot of emails back and forth. So I got that all set up, and you know, I'm like, well, I'll just work the weekend. Which is fine, and it worked out well, and it helped me out. Thank you, everyone. That helped me a lot. But it was interesting. I had I screwed up somewhere with the scheduling. I was confused. I had somebody named Peggy schedule with me, and for some reason I felt I should put it at the end of the day. So I did. Then I saw 2 more purchases come in from a Peggy. I assumed it was the same person. I think. And along the way, I got messed up because there were 2 different Peggies and 3 different purchases for 15-minute readings. One got 2 for a half hour, one got 1 for 15 minutes. And I don't even know if I sent the wrong emails back to the wrong person, and I probably did. But we worked it out in the end, and I'm like, it stuck out. The name is not a name that I hear or have heard in a very long time. And so I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that could happen. What are the chances that, and I had scheduled them both at the end of the day together. And I have people that come to me with the same name all the time. We got lots of Barbaras, we got lots of Johns, we got lots of, Karens, and I don't really normally make that mistake, but somehow Peggy stuck out to me. And I was like, huh, okay. Well, pay more attention next time. And so we got to the readings and everything. And both people, there are very important reasons why Peggy came to me, but that's a different story that I can't tell because it's totally private. So anyway, I get done with the readings, and then I, start working around the house like I always do instead of sitting down, relaxing, enjoying my Saturday. So then I'm like, you know what? No. Let's go sit down. Something told me, go sit down and watch something on TV, which I don't normally do. The only thing I ever watch really is like Bridgerton, which is, I don't know, there's some obsessive fascination with that with me. I don't know why. I love period pieces. So I decided, no, we're not going to watch the same old thing, because I will watch something on TV or a series because I'm a big empath. I'm very affected. My mood is affected by music and by the stories I watch. So I don't watch scary movies. I don't watch, very depressing, shocking, terrible things at a time in my life when I'm trying to hold it together and keep going. I don't do that. If everything's cool, yeah, I'll watch maybe. Still don't really never liked scary movies. Never got it. Never was like, why would I want to sit there and feel all the horror and tragedy and everything? This is not fun for me, so I usually don't. So anyway, I sat down. I'm like, maybe I'll watch something new. And the kids have all these streaming services on the TV. They're not mine. And so I got in, and there's a series called The Gilded Age on HBO Max or whatever it is. I'm like, oh, that looks like a period piece. Maybe I'll watch that. And then I saw that it was about like the Astors and all the big names in the late 1800s in New York, all the money people, the railroads and the banks and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, blood-sucking demons, but let's watch this. And it's not like me. Not like me at all. And it wasn't like that. It was very slow. Really, it was interestingly enough. But I'm watching it. I got into it. And most people on that show refer to others as their last name, Mrs. This and Mr. That. All of a sudden, I wasn't paying a lot of attention. I was playing on my phone, watching TV at the same time, playing with the dogs. I always like to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things at the same time. And I just look up and somebody said to somebody else, Peggy. And I went, That's odd. Like, in all the hundreds and thousands of people that have come to me over the years, I cannot, I'm sure there was, but very, very rarely do you find a Peggy, for one. Two, what are the chances of two different Peggies scheduling three different readings or three reading purchases on the same day? And then screwing that up so that you really focus in on the name Peggy, okay? And make sure you don't make that same mistake again. Then you actually decide to sit down, which you never do, and watch something on TV, something that I thought was pretty boring, but I'm like, let's stick with it, see what happens. And then you just happen to look over and pay attention when someone says, Peggy. And so I asked Gabriel, what the hell's that? What's with Peggy? I mean, how would I even interpret something like that? You know, I mean, it's just so random. Synchronicities. What are synchronicities? Just for everybody who's questioning. The simultaneous can't talk. The simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no discernible causal connection. And that's what I was experiencing. I was like, what is that about? I made a spiritual girl, you know, connected to the angels and stuff. I don't get all the answers, especially for myself, especially when I'm not paying attention. And I'm like, all right. And then I just kind of like, well, that's random and weird, and I really can't find the connection, so I'm just going to forget about it and go on my way. Sunday. God, I'm trying to remember who said Peggy on Sunday, but I think it was somewhere in the living room, I believe. And so my husband was watching something in the living room. I watch TV in the room because people don't like to watch what I watch. I believe I walked by and I heard Peggy. And I'm like, all right. What's the deal? What's going on? Who's Peggy? Is there some kind of spirit around here named Peggy? I mean, what's going on with this? And I couldn't find it and I couldn't get it. And disregarded it again. So then Monday I go in, I get the Gentel, I get this information about everybody watching the Forex and how if they put the rate on the Forex, that's public and Cabal controlled or Cabal watched, and that would be they look at other screens, behind the scenes screens. Okay. Now it's not that it's related to what I'm going to tell you next, but it informed us or made us focus on other financial screens or lists or whatever you want to call it that people look at. Okay. When I was sitting on the bed watching the Gilded Age, that's not nice. It was either between the second reference to Peggy or the third the next day that I thought, I wonder what would happen if I gematria that. If I put it in the gematria calculator, and I'm like, well, it's totally. Why would you find your answer there? But if you think about it, where would your answers be found? Something you're familiar with. Not very familiar with that, but it is in my life right now and for the last 5 years as a tool that can be used to plug a word or some phrase in and get some kind of additional information. And it just popped into my head. Well, maybe I should, put it in there. I didn't. Went on my way, got through Monday, did the Gentel, did all the readings, did all the work, everything. And then I wake up this morning. I had an early reading for somebody in Malaysia, wonderful man, a surgeon who does free work on people with cleft palates, and showed me, and and the medical industry out there who doesn't like that he does that. Wonderful, wonderful angel of a person. Um, so it's like, well, I got that at 8, and I'm supposed to do a show at 9. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Maybe I'll just call in. I don't know what to say. Maybe I'll do readings. And then I was sitting there after I talked to him. And I thought, I started thinking about my life, because I woke up kind of like ho hum, like, just kind of feeling like, am I getting something? I just feel kind of like drained today. So I do my cleansing. God, send me your light, and, lift my spirits, help me get through this day, help me do a good job for everybody. And then in my mind, I heard Peggy. I'm like, all right. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna put it in the gematria calculator. This is totally cool. And I don't really know how to use the thing very well. I know we go to simple gematria, and then I'm like, so Peggy in the gematria calculator is 60. And so when I go in there, I started looking at the very first things that come up. Let's go to the actual open web page I had there. All right. Still cool. So I start looking at the numbers. And when I clicked on something, I put on simple gematria, and I know different ones come up, but something said do Hebrew. The soul knows Hebrew. I'm like, okay. So then I did that. And all these different numbers that aren't 60 pop up, and all these different things. One of them says, hear me out. Let's see. I was looking at, what was the other one I saw? God confirmation. Another one was, hang on. I'm getting there. I got a point. I took screenshots. Let's go back to that. Okay, this is what happened. So I'm scrolling down, and I don't see anything that really makes any sense. I'm like, yeah, there's no way you're going to find your spiritual message here in this calculator, but I felt drawn to do so. I got the idea on the weekend. It didn't do anything about it, and someone still tried throwing Peggy in my face, okay? So I scroll down, and it says Comex. What are we all waiting for right now? What are we all talking about right now? What phase of my life am I in right now, and how does it relate to you? Comex, what are the chances of that? Another one of the things that I saw was stock exchange. Comex. Or Commodity Exchange Inc. is the world's largest physical futures trading exchange for metals like gold, silver, copper, and aluminum. It is also the main market for trading futures and options on these metals. What are we waiting for? are the chances of that stuff? I mean, what's that? I mean, come on. So then, well, let's see, what else did it say? So then I started asking Gabriel questions. I'm like, all right, what's going on here? What's going on? Who's giving me this message? He said, you are. I am, like, I'm making this all up, or I'm making something out of nothing? No. He says it's about life path and the script or the story that you have written for yourself. And in our conversation, I got that, and it paired up with some things that I already know. We come into this life to experience certain things or accomplish certain things, depending on what we have learned before, what we have experienced before, what our objective is, and how experiencing this now will make for a more well-rounded experience for the soul. So these synchronicities, he says, are clues for your soul. Consciously, we think it's random. Consciously, doesn't make any sense. Like, can't remember the last time somebody said Peggy. I mean, like, I've never even known a Peggy. I don't have any past family members who named her Peggy, So it had to be something like that that was so noticeable. Okay. Same thing with deja vu. We know that deja vu is often so very random, reaching for something, all of a sudden, snapshot. Wait a minute, I've done this before. What just happened there? Why is that so familiar? Did I have a dream about that? Is something major going to happen? No. What you do is the soul knows that it's got this plan, right? Within the plan, there is room for choices always. Because we might get here and there might be a better opportunity to learn or accomplish something. So we got to leave that open, right? And we also have to leave it open for free will and choose along the way whether you still want to do that or not. Because we're terribly optimistic when we're in heaven planning this. And it's very intricate, like a spider web, what it connects to many different souls. And so that's sometimes, despite your best efforts, healings, and prayers, you can't change something for somebody because it affects many other people, and it's very important that it should be that way. And so if you're trying and you failed, that's why. So we come into this life and we know we're going to forget. We have to. We have to forget everything. We cannot remember all the emotional connections and everything we learned before and everything. We have to come in and forget who we are. People that are more spiritual or psychic or connected or whatever will remember whatever is needed to accomplish what they came here to do or be who they came here to be. But along the way, the soul gives itself clues. And it's very interesting. It really lines up with what the Patriot movement does and the white hats and all that and everything that we've learned about over the years about all this coded information. To tell somebody something without telling somebody something. It's all very complicated and I'm not very good at it. But apparently, as a soul, I am. And so are you. So along the way, we give ourselves clues. And he says it's more likely for those clues to come when you're coming up on a change. When the soul becomes weary, he said, and I'm becoming weary, we will leave ourselves these clues so that the soul knows you're on track. Keep going. Hang in there. And somewhere along the way, consciously, we could be just a mess consciously, subconsciously, or on a soul level. The soul knows. And so, you know how I am. If I see somebody falling down, I'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I go run over there and I pick them up. Not yet. Don't stay down. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. Everything's going to be okay, Lately, I've been doing that for myself. Personal life, all this stuff. And I love doing this stuff. I love talking to people. I love doing the readings and the healings and everything. And even if I was as rich as could be, I probably would not. So I probably wouldn't do so many readings all day long. Probably spend more time writing. But for some reason, and thank you to the two Peggies that came along into my life at that time, who took the cue. Clearly, we know each other somewhere at home. But some reason I lined it up with the simple name Peggy to get me to pay attention. And I'm like, well, the gematria thing. I mean, how could that tie in to something on a spiritual path? I mean, this is something I learned from the Truthers and, Phil Godlewski and everybody else who uses that and is so very good at it, and I'm not. But it popped into my head at a time when I was questioning what's with Peggy. Why is everybody saying Peggy? And it wasn't like, okay, I know a guy with a green truck, and now I see green trucks everywhere. That's different. That's awareness. It was that you just weren't noticing the green trucks before. This is different. This is a signpost. This is a clue. And what I've gathered from that story, and then I go and gematria, and it leads me to Comex. Are you serious? That's good. That is good. Pretty proud of that. As a soul, I guess. Apparently, I'm pretty intelligent as a soul. I have no idea. Half the time here, I have no idea. Some days I'm brilliant, and some days I can't spell. You get one or the other. That's the way it goes. But to lead me to that information, at this point in time, on our path, yes, I could have picked and choose, but for Comex to be 60, the same as Peggy, that's a sign. It's coming. The stock market, silver, it's coming, like right on the horizon. It's coming at a pace, the RV, things like that, the change. And I said, the first thing. Oh, and the other thing, this is cool. So I got from Gabriel, I said, so why Peggy? Maybe because it would lead me to look in gematria and find the answer I was looking for consciously. Or he said it's an old world name. And I'm like, okay. We're about to change the old world system, is what he said. So it's real and it's happening. And I just got signs. And it took me like 4 days to line all that up. But that is cool. Go ahead. Prove me wrong. Deny that. You want to deny that after the story I told? It's not for you, buddy. Sign is not for you then. He said, on the soul path, signs or signposts we write are for when we write our story. So story. These are synchronicities. They will show up consciously as synchronicities, but they are clues to the soul, especially when the soul grows weary, is what he said. And it's to tell the soul that you're on track, major change is coming, and that is positive change. And that there is no need to worry or give up. It's all about the change. And sometimes you guys wonder how I come out here so confident about certain things. It's because this is how things are taught to me. Because a lot of times I'm oblivious to it, but then it's like as things are thrown in my face, and I'm like, all right, okay. And it's got to be so many times that I'm like, all right, what's going on with the Peggy? What are you trying to tell me? Anyone? You can just talk to me. I'm in meditation all the time. You can just pop up and say it. It's not from them. The clue was from me. So a little life lesson here, a little lesson about intuition, and also about, this is a deeper level. This is rabbit hole stuff when it comes to the soul journey. The things that we overlook, the messages we have along the way. And I wouldn't even know what it was. That inner feeling that you have when everything tells you everything's going to shit. And then the questions in your mind like, how could it possibly do? I've tried so hard. I thought I made the right decisions all along the way. How could I have been led to a place where I feel like this and there's so much fear, so much worry, and things just really aren't the way I envisioned them, you know? What happens next? How could I have done that? So this is rabbit hole soul message stuff. And just because of my current profession, which is my lifelong profession, but and sometimes I think, why am I even doing this? I wasn't involved in politics. I wasn't into all of this. Why have I been led to this place? Well, there's a reason. It's a good reason. It's not like I'm saving the world or I'm so special or everybody has to listen to me and only me or anything. No. It's about my personal journey as well. And that inner knowing that you have when everything says everything's going, and everything's falling down. The whole house of cards is falling down, isn't it? And you're like, how did I get here as we watch the cards fall? And your soul in that time knew that was coming and gave you these synchronicities. Not just so you consciously know, because the soul tells the body what to do pretty much. Together we do have free will along the way to make choices and to make decisions, but it's this rabbit hole synchronicity clues that our soul gives us, and the soul knows. It's soul level stuff. That when it sees something like that, we can carry on another day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not over here thinking I can't carry on. I'm all right. Trust me. If I get backed in a corner, I come out swinging. And you better not get in my way. In a nice way, so nobody gets hurt. But gotta tell you, lately I've been feeling it. And you all have too. But I'm telling you right now. Something's going to happen with this COMEX. Something's going to happen with the stock market. Something's going to happen with gold and silver. It's coming. The change. And what he said today, and I was trying to find where I wrote that down because I do this. And text myself stuff and I put it all over the place as I'm thinking about it, trying to do something else. Now I can't find it. But what he said in a nutshell was, I said, so what does it mean when things like that happen? What does it mean? He said, massive changes coming. So without putting any timelines on anything, it will be right away. It will be right away. This is not something that somebody dreamed up in their basement and spread around on the internet. It is something you have to be knowledgeable of and aware of and be in the right circles to know about. And all of you are. But it is real. And it is happening. Something big's going to happen in the next couple days, I swear. Pretty sure. So next time you get something random, it's not just going to be when you're looking for something. Oh, that's random. Well, then I saw it again. No, you can't do that. This has to, like, stop you in your tracks. Like, what the? Peggy? Like, all right, my first thought was, all right, who's Peggy? Who's here with me? Some kind of wandering spirit following me home and need help. What the heck? You know? It's not that. We have signposts. We have deja vu. Deja vu is basically telling the soul that you're on track. You haven't failed. Things like this do too. You get something like that, that's a major sign that you're on track. It doesn't have to have anything to do with what you were. It should be totally random like that to catch your attention. But these are the kind of things that go on behind the scenes, like I was starting to say, that some of you wonder why I'm so confident at times when everybody's running around screaming and the sky is falling. I'm like, because of things like this. Things that you live that you just can't put out in a post because I'm lazy and I don't want to type it all out most of the time. But, oh, it's coming. It's coming. Really interesting stuff. Hang on, let's see what people are saying. Forex is not what they're watching. Could it be the Comex that they're watching? Does that make any sense? Probably not. Maybe. Maybe. So interesting, isn't it? Where are we at? It's just so I don't like to make people wait like 3-4 weeks for a reading, so I just slam myself, slam them all in. Oh, we're good. We're good. I did have some this morning. And it was like, you know what? And sometimes you wake up and you're just like, do I really have to do all of this today? And then what I do when that happens is, like, well, coffee first. Okay. Lots of it. And then I was thinking, all right, that's fine. That's enough. You're not sick. You're just being lazy. That's what I tell myself. You're just being lazy. I think I have this I think I battle. We come into life and we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses and we have our challenges. And I think one of my challenges is like maybe a lazy streak. And then, but then I try to, totally overcompensate for that and stay busy all the time. And if I don't accomplish anything, maybe it's mental illness. If I don't accomplish enough, I'm like, oh, you're just being lazy. Get up. No, you can't take a day off. You're being lazy. So this morning I was like, all right, I'm being lazy. I don't want to do anything. I'm all stuffed up. There's green dust on everything. Thank God it rained. And allergies and everything. And I'm just like, I have a reading at 8 a.m. All right, we're going to pray. Let's pray. God, please give me the physical, mental, and spiritual energy I need today to do a good job for everybody that comes to me. Help me pass on your truth, your messages, your healing. And that's what I said. A little bit of a delay on receiving that. And then I'm walking around like, well, I could cancel the show and blah, blah, blah. But I love doing the show. Then I'm like, kick it into gear, get cleaned up, do the reading, and we'll see how you feel. And so I did that. And then, like, during the reading, this man, is so humble. This surgeon who helps people with cleft palates and just make them look new again. Just so, and then wanting so much to do it for free, and then having a time where he had donations where he could do it for free, and how it affected these people's life. And I'm sitting there lazy, like, oh, I don't want to do this reading today. I'm tired. And this man comes to me and wants to know if what he's doing is bad. It's the most beautiful thing I could ever hear. I mean, you're like, it's like shining light, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, never. This man is the best person in the world. You're just being lazy, Jennifer. Kick it into gear and like, shoo, energy. And then as soon as I asked myself, all right, what am I going to talk about on the show? Boom, Peggy. And I'm like, there it is again. Why is it with Peggy? What's this? And then I ended up here. I mean, I started looking into it, and I was like, all right, this is a soul level message at this point in time for me, and not just for me, it's for you too. Because I come out here to talk to you, and what was my first thought? What am I going to say on the show? Is it just so I could come up with something good to say on the show? No, because I can always show up here and just be stupid and just, kid around, and I can just do readings. I don't really ever have to have a topic. That's a sign. It's coming. And it's coming in fast. And anybody who doesn't believe you, well, you just tell them to sit down, wait for it, because it's coming. And so nobody. Yeah, we may have to wait a few days. I don't know. But that period of time will pass. And we will be there. I'm sure of it. So, pray for your strength and your energy, and notice your synchronicities lately. Because if you're at a place in your life where you're just like, what's the point? They'll tell you. Or you'll tell you. And I bet you anything you've put in a clue for your soul so that you keep going. Pay attention. It's not always going to turn out like this. You're not always going to come to a conclusion. But if you dig, and if you think about it, and if you put two and two together and you say, okay, where am I at? Where was I before? When did this start? What's really going on in my life? What answers am I searching for right now? You'll come to something, and it will help you carry on consciously. But you trust, and you know that if your soul, even if you can't figure out the synchronicity, what it was, you know that your soul's going to carry on. So, I'm all excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens with this. Will it be immediate? Will it be a week? I don't know. I have no idea. I just saw Phil. Maybe Phil's going to come out and tell you something about it. It's not that I'm trying to promote the man, okay? There are some valid things going on with him. All right? I'm not backing down on it. I know it's there. Is he doing all kinds of promotional stuff so that he can be where he wants to be in the world using that kind of following? Yeah. Would you? I would. Duh. But if you had the opportunity, but the man does the work. Many people are presented with opportunities and do nothing and then complain that they haven't gone anywhere. That's a lot of tough love right there. But that's true. It's all up to you. Do you choose to recognize and take the opportunity when it comes? Yes. Yes. And we're going to close the show with this. Yes, you have. Why? You're centered in this community, despite all the backlash, despite all the losses, despite all the gut wrenching, waiting, and carrying on, and everything that has it strengthened you. Oh, yeah, it has. You may not see it yet, but yeah, it has. Have you taken the opportunity when it was presented to you to buy gold and silver, to purchase foreign currencies, to get on board? Yes, you did. And you will see your returns. That is the best thing I could leave you with today. I'm not going to answer questions because I got to get going. Busy bee, overcompensate for that lazy streak, so we're just going to run it into the ground. But I will see you all on Telegram. If I get anything additional, I'll let you know. Thank you for joining me here today. Oh, self-promotion. Let's do that. Hang on. I just forget about that. I get so excited. I do. I get so excited about the topics that I can't even remember. Listen. So I only put my classes up once in a while because I just don't want them in the hands of too many people, I want people that are serious about it to have it, and also so they don't just steal my stuff, and I don't know. Anyway, God will protect me. It's up right now. The entire course from stuff like this should be in there. It will be next time, but of course my private students will learn this in more depth. We start with awareness. What it sounds like, what it feels like, what it looks like when you're perceiving your divine guidance. Everything I teach will always be God-centered. I'm a stickler about that. That glow came in at the right time, didn't it? God-centered. And I will not back down from that. I don't care if you don't like it. It's not fashionable. I don't care. So I am. So it starts with divine, recognizing that you're already receiving your divine guidance right now. We just dismiss it. Just like I could have dismissed Peggy. Okay? What it sounds like, what it looks like, what it feels like. Then we move on to interdimensional meditation. That is a deep form of prayer, a light meditation. We're going to heaven. We're going to talk to Jesus. We're going to talk to God. We're going to talk to the archangels. We're going to learn how to receive our own healing. They can call in your loved ones, your lost pets, whoever you want to talk to. That in itself is a wonderful gift to give you, to be able to have that close personal line of communication whenever you want it. And all the way up to the projection of consciousness, interdimensional travel. And that would be like me sitting here. Somebody says, what's out in this cave in the desert? We're going to go in there. Go tell me what's in there. Consciously shooting off there, like going like this on your camera and zooming in and telling you what I see. Absolutely possible. Do it all the time. These are all soul gifts. These are all soul abilities, the ability to protect yourself and everything else. And that is what is in these videos. And I can give you the trunk and the branches on how to do this and how I do it. It's all your leaves. Anyway, those classes, 9 of them, about over 20 hours of content are available right now at jenniferfallaw.com. You purchase them. I send them to you on the email. You own them, we're done. You want additional classes or private instruction with me after that? Yes, we can talk about that. That's available. There's nothing to subscribe to. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to join up. There's nothing. I don't like that. That's complicated. That's, lazy streak. Anyway, so you buy it. I give it to you. We're done. They're available right now. Go to jenniferfallaw.com. I got to get going. Have a wonderful day. All right. Got to put the music up. I love this music. I love you all.